Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel Evolve with Monette. For those of you that are new here, I am a professional intuitive empath and I'm so happy to share some energy with you today. And we're going to get right into the title. Her Princess, Her Prison. How devil energy will play you out of your position. Now, for those of you that are not new here, you know my story. But for those of you that are, the quick overview is I had a friend in my life, a dear friend for 20 years, and I had all these fantasies about us being Oprah and Gail, and so did she, and we talk about it and all of that stuff. One of the things to note about this is we did not meet that fantasy because she decided to be a very narcissistic in a weird covert way, and there was discarding and abandonment and gaslighting and triangulation and games and mind effery. A lot of things happen, right? Well, what I realized along the way is the person she was discarding before, the new source, for those of you that are familiar with the narcissist empath dynamic and that devalue, discard, it's love bomb, then devalue, then discard cycle that happens, is she was starting to discard and starting to devalue me to this person that was a malignant narc. And yes, we can talk about narcissism, but because of my Christianity, I'm going to put a little bit of spirituality over it. The devil is very cunning, and I feel like a lot of narcissists have demonic energy. All narcissists are really living demons, really is how I feel about it. And, you know, people make it so like woo-woo, like demons, what does that mean? Well, it means somebody without a conscience, a sociopath, someone that's purposely there to harm you, to take you off your path. So there was a lot of demonic energy that was like happening between the two. They were sharing sexual energy as well, so it was intensified, and my bestie turned into a freaking walking nightmare. But what I will tell you is she said to me something last year, and she was like, something about her princess. She said something about that. I want to whisk my princess off. And I thought, the devil has done a good and well job here, because you think this person's your princess, she is your prison. Now, as a practitioner and a reader, I understand when I'm looking at situations like that. And it was tricky because I was emotionally involved and invested, had deep feelings for this friend, adored her, had known her for 20 years, had helped her raise her kid emotionally, all of that stuff, who I adore and love. That's the great tragedy of this, really, is her child, to me anyway, no matter what he may think about me, but because of his mother's doing. But that's the issue here for me, is that that was all part of it. I was so upset because we had formed our own familial unit, and I didn't understand how she could not value it and how she could throw it away and what would make it so. And my angels were like, the devil is cunning. The devil walked her right into this thing that she thought was ideal. And he, you know, what they played with for me was a slice of the devil's pie, like take a sip, take a lick, D'Angelo, a slice of the devil's pie. And I've always been very cognizant about that. I've had people make me offers and various things like that. And I realized that that they weren't good, and I could feel the demonic energy because it's just my gift. I just understand when someone's low vibrational, and I knew that the person she was connected to was at the lowest of like karmic female energy, you know, jealous, petty, vindictive, codependent, lecherous, murderous, just very, very. I've not really run into. I'm Pentecostal, so I grew up that way. So I've been at camps where people have had exorcisms done, and it wasn't until I ran up against Tinsley that I was like, oh wow, this is real devil energy. It's amazing. I've gone my whole life. I have done work with people. I have prayed over people. I have done all kinds of things. That energy, she really, Scorpio, unevolved, low vibration, just all of the things. Now, here's the thing. My bestie was like, this is my princess. My bestie repressed sexuality, a lot of stuff going on. And so she wasn't wanting to admit to me because she knew that if I could see it, that I would heal it. If I felt like it was going to make her sick, I would have taken on the poison to heal her. Empath, you know what I'm saying about that. But so she hid it and lied and gaslighted and played games and used it to stroke her ego and a lot of weird. She just turned into like a monster to me. And so when she said that to me, I was like, this is going to be your undoing. This girl not only will not be in your life in so many years, but if she is in your life, well, I will say, if she is in your life, it's going to be because you guys are on First 48 or Snapped or something like that, because that's the energy that that girl came with, and I knew it. I understood it clear as day. I knew what a chaser she was. I knew how unhappy she was. I knew that she was repressing her own sexuality. It was like a powder keg for disaster. But my bestie thought her princess was her princess, and I knew it was her prison. And that's the thing. The devil energy will come in and play you out of your position, and this is how. One of the qualms that my bestie had with me me that I was working a lot and not paying her enough attention. I didn't realize her covert narcissism, and so essentially she was saying I don't feel seen and whatever. And if we take away the covert narcissism, maybe she felt like I was neglecting. And in essence, I was working for us. I was feeling very much like Drake, like it's my responsibility to make the money so that you can have a blessed life, because I felt like she was not going to work really, and I would have given her a position and done anything, but I loved her. You know how that is when you love somebody. There's just your friend. I was like, you're coming with me, girl. It's all good. I got you, right? Well, she wasn't supposed to come with me. That was the lesson. But beyond that, she didn't understand what was happening and got tempted and lured and all the stuff, because the devil was like, oh, I'll pay attention through this basura, trash person, through the gutter snipe, through the rat. I'll pay attention. I'll do all of this. Oh, she loves you and she wants to, like, if Tinsley had a song, she would sing the Dixie Chick song. It'd be, I could love you better than that. I know how to make you forget her. It was all that, right? So the devil was like singing the siren song quite literally to her and saying, come over here, not realizing that in my life and my career, I was about to blow. And I didn't let her know that because I build quietly. Also, I didn't trust that energy of that girl. So I didn't tell her anything because I knew that she was telling that girl everything, no matter how much she was lying to me about it. And I didn't want that girl's energy, that jealous, pernicious, vicious energy in my life. So I just kind of shut everything down, incubated it, thinking, oh, this too shall pass. When I walked her through Tara and Sarah and Mara and all the girls she's always fallen for and thought she was in love, I was like, I can get her through this. But she didn't want to be gotten through it because that was her princess. Now the devil knew. The devil is very aware too, just like God is. They chat all the time, okay? And the devil knew what I was walking into. And the devil was like, oh, this is great. Now here's the thing. Tinsley, working with the devil energy, did not want my bestie to leave her because she didn't want to be by herself, because codependency is real. And I started talking to my bestie in riddles because I didn't want to tip her off, because God said specifically don't. But I said, do you want to raise kids? Do you want to raise like young kids like that? Are you, even though Tinsley has a husband and 3 kids that live in the house together, I understood what my bestie was getting into. And I said, do you want to raise kids? Is that what you want? Oh no, girl, you know I hate kids, da-da-da-da, and I'm so glad my son's going off, and da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay. And then she wanted to be a flight attendant, and I said, are you going to fly? Are you going to fly and live your dreams? I started asking her questions about her life to see if she understood that even though my bestie had, she was a Sagittarius with a million issues about commitment, allegedly, she was committing herself to be somebody else's third party, a toxic, low vibrational, abusive person. It broke my heart. Even though she treated me like ish and I could cuss her up a red streak and down another, I was watching it a couple years ago and I was like, oh, honey, this is your prison. You were so, a lot of times matchmakers will say that people's penis does the picking. My bestie had very masculine, misogynist energy, and she liked that this girl was needy and desperate, but her needy and desperateness was a ruse, a cunning ruse, in order to entrap people and ensnare people. Malignant narc meet covert narc. She had no idea. She'd never dealt with that before. She's used to being the terrible kind of bitchy person in people's lives. She'd never met her match, and she did. Her princess was her prison. Maybe some of you. I warned her, I predicted, I did all of the things as divine counterparts we will do. And her son warned her and told her, this girl's not your friend. Monette's your friend. I'll love him forever for that. But he could see, and he didn't like the influence that that girl had on her. And I resent my bestie for not using any discernment and throwing all of the teaching and energy I poured into her over the years out the window, because her princess was going to be her prison. Her princess was going to deprive her of the last 2 years of her son's life. Her princess was going to cause her son to almost decapitate himself and kill himself. He did not kill himself, but he almost killed himself 4 times because he was desperate to be parented. But she was too busy with her princess to pay attention to the fact that he didn't join the military because he loved the GI Bill. He did it because he was seeking guidance, parenting, fathering, mothering. He was seeking fences. It really pissed me off in a way that I can't even articulate it. If I talk about it, I'm going to start screaming. I'm honest. Like, I can't even control the energy I feel regarding her son and her choice. But what I will tell you is a part where I can detach from. As I said, this is a prison she walked into. If you were looking at this, this would be the hangman. The thing about the hangman in the tarot says, I don't want to be hung like the Christ. I'm not worthy. I'm a martyr. I'm going to volunteer to be hung. She volunteered for this. I warned her. She was was warned by God. She was warned by her Holy Spirit. But the devil gave her all of the enticement, all of the sex, all of the attention, and all of the energy. And now she has all of the codependency, all of the karmic problems, all of the bad luck, all of the generational curses. Her princess is now her prison. Even if they're together, if they're not together, I don't care. What I will tell you is she cannot shake the karma. It's 10 years. The time frame that they did it was when Pluto conjuncted Saturn, and her princess was really her prison. At the beginning of a decade, Pluto is the maker of kings and the breaker of dynasties. When Pluto and Saturn conjunct, it changes people's lives forever. And because she didn't get out of that karmic cycle, and because of the nasty deeds and the gossip and the evil things she said about a woman, me, who really cared about her and was speaking into her life, she will have karma for that. But she'll have karma for how she treated her son and other people around her, and how she thought she was better than other people, and she gossiped and she sought to get in the middle of situations and break up energies. This is the Hangman. We volunteer to be in that position. She volunteered. She wanted her princess, and it will teach her lessons. At the bottom here is a halo. There is an enlightenment that comes, and she will learn so many lessons from that whenever she extracts herself out of it. And maybe she never will. Maybe that's her wife forever. Who knows? Maybe they'll be polyamorous, polygamous. I don't know what the word is. Multi-amorous. Maybe they'll be whatever they want to be. Maybe that's her destiny. But I understood, because of the way that it affected her child and the way it affected me, that there was no good that was going to come from Tinsley. That Tinsley had, and it's not all Tinsley's fault, y'all. I want you to understand that. But sometimes we get with somebody who will cause us to be our worst and most low vibrational self. And I could tell when I was there in her house the last week, I was trying to distill the energy and change everything. And I was like, my angels were like, get out. You get out. It was very much like the Armitages in that movie Get Out of 2017. It's so interesting because I predicted her princess being her prison. I had just come out of that movie Get Out and watched all of the things that happened. And when we were talking, she was talking about the girls in the office, and she ran over the names, and she said Mackenzie and this and that and Aaron. And then she talked about Tinsley. And when she said her name, there was an accident in front of me, and someone ended up bleeding in front of me. I have a video. I don't know if I'm going to load it, but I talk about this in the video, but it's definitely NSFW for sure. But what I will tell you is I understood the demonic energy that this girl came with, and that she was there as an agent provocateur to get her off her path. And I wanted to protect her in almost a maternal way, but I couldn't, because she was making me the ostracized evil. Very Beauty and the Beast. It's time to take some action, boys. We always outcast and reject something we don't understand. And I was unfathomable to a small pea brain like Tinsley. Tinsley is intelligent in her own cunning, feral way, right? Animalistic, but she is not bright. And all she knew was, I want something, I'm gonna get it. Like, it was very like primal. And it bothered me because I saw the wide sweeping effect that it had on everybody in my bestie's life. And I thought, oh my God, your princess is your prison, mama. You want this so bad, and because you got it, it's Akon for you now. You're locked up, and no one's letting you out. You're going to have to let you out. She's never going to let you out. She knew what you were going to walk into if you would stay connected to me. She knew what she was going to walk into if she had stayed connected to her higher vibration. My friend could have expressed herself sexually, emotionally, and physically in any way she wanted to with other people, but there was something about that person, that princess, that I knew would become her prison, and it would steal from her her desire as a Sagittarian to travel, to explore, and to have and do things. It would rob from her her reputation. It would embarrass her. It would cause her great defeat. It would expose her, because I knew that that low vibrational Scorpio would hold nothing back, and in not only exposing her, but destroying her if she felt like she couldn't have her, because that's all Tinsley knows how to do. You know, and I really wanted to be like, pick on someone your own size and like do battle with Tinsley, and God said stay out of it because you don't want the karma of it. They have karma coming, and Tinsley, oh my God, she's got some karma, but so does my bestie, because she not only leaned into the prison and decided, I love it here. You know, she used to binge watch The L Word and Wentworth, and And I remember watching the L Word hot scenes in the beginning. You know, the first season was super great, hot sex scenes, and then they kind of got watered down. But halfway through Wentworth, she was really into it, and I was like, this is too intense, and this is not healthy manifestation. But I realized now that the reason she was binge watching it is because her princess would really end her up in a prison if she didn't get out in time. I don't know what became of her or what happened to her, but I had no doubt that the skill set she observed and learned while binge watching those shows, Orange is the New Black and Wentworth, may come in handy, unfortunately, for her someday. Maybe she'll have to be someone's prison bitch, or maybe she'll be the person that cuts bitches. I don't know. But I feel like if she continued with Tinsley, that she would end up behind bars, because I felt like there was like fraudulent things happening and scamming and credit cards. Like there was a lot of weird matriculation of energy and information. My angels didn't let me get too involved because they knew I would have saved her if I knew the full of it. They said they'll let me know later. I'm at the point where I don't care, but I was so nosy in the beginning. I was like, help me, help her. And they were like, no, we're not telling you what's going on. You don't get to know anything. We just are wondering if you're going to trust yourself and don't let the person that you thought was your princess, amen, your bestie, your friend, your golden girl, become your prison, because she has held you back. And if you stay with her, you'll be locked up. And who's going to let you out? Really powerful lesson. Devil energy played her out of her position, out of abundance, out of travel. With me anyway. She can manifest it in her own right. But with me, there was a reading that I stumbled upon just a few days ago. God's so funny. He made me do the long division of this whole situation over the last couple of years. And then the last like couple of weeks, there have been all these tarot readings that are literally the whole situation played out. And I'm like, where was this 2 years ago when I was like swimming through the dark? And he said, daughter, it was all for a purpose. We wanted you to hone your skills and figure it out for yourself. It's hard to have discernment when someone's close to you. I get paid every day to be precise about my predictions and intuition, but when it comes to your own life, we got to wade through it like anybody else. And I really sharpened my intuition because I didn't have cheat sheets or the answers. However, this reading by Queen Cup I will place below. I think it was a Scorpio reading. I never pay attention to the sign. I always pay attention to the title and how I'm led. That's how you should choose your tarot readings if you're watching them online. Everyone is for you. If you have people that are haters that are doing readings, they're like, no cross watchers. Sal, who's on here, is really funny for that. If you know who Sal, I think he's like a Filipino guy or a Thai guy, but he's like, no cross watchers. And it's really because tarot readers get sick of people bitching about it in the comments that this isn't my story and yada yada yada. But here's the deal, all the readings are for you. In any case, Queen Cup out of Canada is brilliant. And I saw her reading it, and there's just a chunk. I'll connect it below and I'll timestamp it because it's like from minute this to minute this. But she goes through my whole situation and she talks about it. She says this person was working and they got frustrated and they allowed devil energy to play them out of their position because the devil told them like it's going to be so much easier, more convenient and stable here, not realizing that what would have been offered if they would have just waited and been patient would have like blown their mind. And I was ready to blow her mind, but it wasn't meant to be. She had to go through this lesson. So that's where I got the idea. Thank you, Queen Cup. I want to give credit where credit is due, especially about playing out of the position. I will link it below and you will get to hear some of the story if you're interested, for those of you that have been following. I so appreciate you guys. But that is the energy that I wanted to share with you today. Be careful that something you think is your prince or your princess doesn't become your prison. Sometimes when we're blind, we can allow our relationships to take over. Like Eve said, love is blind and it will take over your mind. What you think is love is truly not. You need to elevate and find. She certainly will have to elevate and find, and it will be without my help. But at the time, oh my God, I just wanted to save her. I wanted to rescue her from the castle. And they said, this person would shoot you in the face if you try to rescue her. So it was not for me to do, y'all. So be careful. Make sure that relationship that you're putting on a pedestal doesn't become the tower that you live in that harbors you and keeps you away from living your full expression of life. It was a tragedy for me to watch what she did to herself and what she did to her relationship with her kid and with her relationship to herself, all for a relationship with a gutter snipe. She was sleeping with the enemy. She might still be. God bless her and her and him and those 3 kids and her other girlfriend. She knows how to pick them. All right, guys, come back next time and join me, and we will continue to evolve together.